Have you ever looked at someone you once loved, trusted, or cared deeply about and realized they were the source of your greatest suffering? Not because they betrayed you, not because they left, but because somewhere along the way you gave them power over your peace. Most people spend years trying to hold on to those who no longer belong in their lives. They beg for attention, chase explanations, and replay old memories in their minds like a never-ending punishment. But what if true freedom begins the moment you learn to let go? The Stoics understood a secret that most people never discover. Peace is not found in keeping everyone close. Hello everyone, welcome to the Stoic Hypnosis channel. In this video, you'll discover 10 powerful Stoic principles that will help you let go of anyone without bitterness, without regret, and without losing your inner peace. Stay until the end, because the final principle may completely change the way you view attachment, loss, and emotional freedom forever. Now, let's get started. Lesson 1. Accept that people belong to themselves. One of the deepest sources of suffering is the belief that certain people should remain in our lives forever. We become attached not only to who they are, but to the role we expect them to play. When they change, leave, or disappoint us, we feel betrayed by reality itself. The Stoics taught a different perspective. Every person you meet is a traveler on their own journey. They have their own desires, choices, and paths to follow. They were never yours to keep. They were only yours to experience for a season. The moment you stop trying to possess people, you stop fearing their departure. You begin to appreciate them without depending on them. And strangely, this acceptance creates a freedom that attachment never could. But accepting this truth is only the beginning. The next lesson goes even deeper. Lesson 2. Separate love from attachment. Many people confuse love with attachment. They believe that if they truly love someone, they must constantly need them, worry about them, or suffer when they are gone. Yet the Stoics understood that genuine love and emotional dependence are not the same thing. Attachment says, I need you to be happy. Love says, I want the best for you, even if life takes us in different directions. When you become attached, your peace depends on another person's actions. Their messages, attention, and approval begin to control your emotions. But when you love without attachment, you remain grounded within yourself. You can care deeply without losing your center. You can wish someone well without holding on to them. This kind of love is not weaker, it is stronger because it is free from fear. And fear is exactly what the next lesson helps us overcome. Lesson 3. Stop resisting what has already happened. Many people don't suffer because someone left. They suffer because they refuse to accept that the person has already left. They replay conversations, imagine different outcomes, and ask endless questions. What if I had said something else? What if I had tried harder? What if things had been different? According to Stoic philosophy, suffering often begins where reality ends and resistance begins. The past cannot be changed, no matter how many times you revisit it in your mind. Every moment spent fighting reality is a moment stolen from your present life. Peace comes when you stop arguing with what has already happened. Acceptance does not mean approval. It means recognizing reality as it is and choosing to move forward anyway. And once you stop fighting the past, you can finally reclaim control of your future. Before we continue, take a moment to reflect on everything we've discussed so far. Have you ever struggled to let go of someone even when you knew holding on was hurting you? If these Stoic lessons are speaking directly to your experience, let me know in the comments by writing, "I choose peace." And if you're enjoying this journey into Stoic wisdom, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. This channel is dedicated to helping you build emotional strength, master self-control, and find peace in a world full of chaos. Now let's continue with the next principles, because the lessons ahead may completely change how you deal with loss, attachment, and the people who come and go throughout your life. Lesson 4. Focus on what you can control. One of the most powerful Stoic principles is the distinction between what is within your control and what is not. Your thoughts, choices, and actions belong to you. Other people's feelings, decisions, and behavior do not. Yet when someone leaves your life, many people spend months or even years trying to control what was never theirs to control. They wish they could change another person's mind, reverse a decision, or force a different outcome. In doing so, they hand over their peace to circumstances they cannot influence. The Stoics believe that freedom begins when you redirect your energy inward. Instead of asking, "How can I make them stay?" ask, "How can I respond with dignity?" Instead of chasing what is lost, strengthen what remains. You may not control who walks away from your life, but you always control the character with which you face that loss. And that is where true power begins. Lesson 5. Let pain teach you, not define you. Every meaningful loss leaves a mark. The Stoics never denied this reality. They did not teach people to become emotionless or indifferent. Instead, they taught that suffering should become a teacher, not a permanent identity. Too many people allow heartbreak, rejection, or betrayal to define who they are. They carry old wounds into every new relationship and every new opportunity. They begin to see themselves as victims of what happened rather than students of what happened. But every painful experience contains a lesson. Perhaps it revealed a weakness you need to strengthen. Perhaps it exposed an attachment that was unhealthy. Perhaps it taught you to value yourself more deeply. The question is not whether pain will visit your life. It certainly will. The question is whether you will leave that experience wiser than before. A Stoic transforms suffering into wisdom, and wisdom becomes strength that no one can take away. Lesson 6. Protect your inner citadel. Marcus Aurelius often spoke about the inner citadel, the part of yourself that remains untouched by the chaos of the outside world. This is your inner fortress, your center of reason, character, and peace. When people become emotionally dependent on others, they unknowingly allow strangers access to this sacred place. A text message can ruin their day. A rejection can shatter their confidence. Another person's opinion becomes more powerful than their own judgment. The Stoics warned against this. Your peace should never be placed in someone else's hands. No matter who enters your life or who leaves it, there must be a part of you that remains steady. A place where your values, self-respect, and purpose are protected from external events. When your inner citadel is strong, you stop fearing abandonment. You stop seeking validation everywhere you go. You understand that while people may come and go, your deepest source of peace was never outside of you to begin with. And once you discover that truth, letting go becomes far less frightening than it once seemed. Lesson 7. Accept that everything in life is temporary. One of the hardest truths to accept is that nothing in life lasts forever. Relationships change. Circumstances change. People change. Even the version of yourself that exists today will not remain the same forever. Yet much of our suffering comes from pretending otherwise. We cling to moments, people, and experiences as if we can freeze them in time. When reality inevitably moves forward, we feel robbed of something that was never meant to stay. The Stoics practiced remembering the temporary nature of all things, not to become pessimistic, but to become wiser. When you understand that everything is borrowed, you learn to appreciate without possessing. A person may leave your life, but the memories, lessons, and growth they brought can remain. Nothing valuable is truly lost if it helps shape who you have become. When you embrace impermanence, letting go becomes an act of wisdom rather than an act of defeat. Lesson 8. Do not chase closure from others. Many people remain trapped in the past because they are waiting for one final conversation, one final explanation, one final apology. They believe that if the other person would simply say the right words, all their pain would disappear. But the Stoics understood something most people never learn. Closure is not something another person gives you. It is something you create within yourself. Sometimes you will never get the explanation you deserve. Sometimes the person who hurt you will never admit their mistakes. Sometimes the chapter will end without the ending you hoped for. If your peace depends on another person's cooperation, you will remain a prisoner of their choices. True freedom begins when you stop waiting. Stop chasing answers that may never come. Stop expecting someone else to heal a wound they created. The moment you decide to move forward without their permission is the moment you reclaim your power. Lesson 9. Learn to enjoy your own company. One reason people struggle to let go is that they fear being alone more than they fear suffering. They stay attached to unhealthy relationships, toxic friendships, or one-sided connections because silence feels uncomfortable. They would rather endure emotional pain than face themselves. The Stoics encourage solitude as a path to self-mastery. They believed that a person who cannot enjoy their own company will always be vulnerable to dependence. When you learn to sit alone with your thoughts, build your own routines, and find fulfillment within yourself, something remarkable happens. You stop seeing solitude as loneliness. Instead, it becomes a source of clarity. The neediness that once kept you attached begins to disappear. You no longer hold on to people because you are afraid of emptiness. You choose relationships because they add value to your life, not because they fill a void, and that shift changes everything. Lesson 10. Choose peace over possession. The final Stoic principle may be the most important of all. At the heart of every painful attachment is a silent desire to possess something that was never truly ours. We want people to stay. We want circumstances to remain the same. We want life to obey our expectations. But peace and possession cannot coexist. The more tightly you try to hold on, the more anxiety you create. The more you demand certainty, the more fear enters your life. The Stoics chose a different path. They chose peace. They loved people deeply while accepting that they might leave. They appreciated life's blessings while knowing they could change at any moment. They embraced reality instead of fighting it. And this is the ultimate lesson. Letting go is not about losing someone. It is about releasing the illusion that your happiness depends on keeping them. The day you choose peace over possession is the day you become truly free. not because life stops changing, but because your inner world no longer collapses when it does. Conclusion. At the end of the day, letting go is not about forgetting someone. It is not about pretending they never mattered, nor is it about becoming cold or indifferent. It is about choosing peace over suffering. The Stoics understood that life is constantly changing, and the more we resist that truth, the more we hurt ourselves. People will come and go. Relationships will begin and end. But your inner peace does not have to disappear with them. True strength is not found in holding on. It is found in knowing when to release what no longer serves your growth and trusting yourself enough to move forward. Deep Life. Lesson and Practical Application. The deepest lesson from Stoicism is this: your happiness should never depend on something you cannot control. The moment you tie your peace to another person's presence, approval, or affection, you give away your freedom. Instead, build a life centered on your own values, purpose, and character. Starting today, practice asking yourself one simple question whenever you feel attached to an outcome or a person. Is this within my control? If the answer is no, learn to release it. Redirect your energy toward improving yourself, strengthening your mind, and living according to your principles. Over time, you'll discover that the peace you were searching for in others was within you all along. If you found value in this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss future lessons on Stoicism, self-mastery, emotional resilience, and personal growth. And if this message resonated with you, leave a comment below with the words, "I choose peace." Thank you for watching, and remember, sometimes the strongest thing you can do is let go and keep walking forward with a calm mind and an unshakable heart. See you in the next videos.